हेलो दोस्तों, वेलकम टू माय चैनल एनीथिंग एंड एवरीथिंग। आज हम बात करेंगे अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग के बारे में। एंड माय नेम इज़ विपिन। एंड हम जो टॉपिक कवर करने वाले हैं आज, मुख्य तौर पर वो टॉपिक्स हैं प्रायोरिटी, एज एन विच कैटेगरी यू आर एलिजिबल इन टू अप्लाइंग फॉर अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग। द अदर थिंग वी विल टॉक अबाउट द कैंसिलेशन, द वेटिंग लिस्ट एंड द रिफंड। So mainly YouTube पर I didn't find any videos which are covering these topics. So आज हम इन टॉपिक के बारे में बात करेंगे। तो सबसे पहले कैटेगरीज। सो कितनी कैटेगरीज हैं? इज अप्लाइंग, ही फॉल्स इनटू विच कैटेगरी? इफ आई एम अप्लाइंग, am I I am eligible to apply in general category, in PMAY or in any other category? So कितनी कैटेगरी हैं और मैं किस कैटेगरी के लिए एलिजिबल हूँ? So we will find out that. So there are mainly four categories in the affordable housing. The first category we will talk about is प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना, जिसको हम PMAY भी बोलते हैं। प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के अंदर भी two priorities होती हैं, two categories. So the first priority is given to people who are eligible for प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना and affordable housing project जिस भी सिटी, जिस भी शहर में है, द पर्सन बिलोंग्स टू द सेम सिटी। सो अगर मेरा अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग प्रोजेक्ट अगर गुड़गांव में है तो द पर्सन हु इज अप्लाइंग शुड ऑल्सो बी फ्रॉम द सेम सिटी। सो दैट्स द फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी। द सेकेंड प्रायोरिटी इज गिवन टू द प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना पीपल अगेन, बट पीपल हु आर नॉट इन द सेम सिटी बट बिलोंग टू सम अदर सिटी फ्रॉम इंडिया। ओके, नाउ तीसरी कैटेगरी आती है जनरल कैटेगरी। Now general category में भी again there are two options. I already own a property or I do not own a property. When I say I own a property, that means like there is some property, some land, some house on my name. Third priority comes to the general category who do not own a property in Gurgaon or in any other city. So basically there is no property on that person's name. That's the third category or the third priority. The fourth and the last priority comes to the people who actually owns a property, and that property should not be affordable, but he may own any other luxury property or anything, any house or any land. So that's the fourth priority. So usually like a person can understand like what all these priority means and fill the application in the same priority. Now there is one more thing. There is some confusion regarding Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana as well. So in this, while applying for within Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, do make sure you own a Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana certificate. So it doesn't mean that like you don't have any property and like you think you are eligible for Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. It's not like that. If you are eligible, you must be having a certificate. Government issued some certificate some time back, and like to people who were not owning any property. So that certificate must be produced if there is like you come into the winner list of affordable housing. So that's these are the four priorities we will talk about or we talked about. And do let me know if there is any questions. So do comment on my YouTube channel and I'll happy to answer. The second thing we will talk about is waiting list. So waiting list criteria is very simple. Like it's 25% of the total units available. So if in a certain project there are 800 or 1000 units, let's say 1000 units available, then that means like after declaring the winner 1000 winners, there will be 250 people into the waiting list. Now the only tricky part is these 1000 units, these can be of different types. So for example, like we generally see there is 2 BHK, 3 BHK, type 1, type 2. So there are certain categories in the flats also. So the specific category that you are applying for, so for example you are like I'm applying for 2 BHK type 1, and let's say there are only 200 flats available in the affordable housing. That means the only 50 people will be in the waiting list for 2 BHK type 1. So the total waiting list is 250 people, but again it will be categorized based on the like unit you are applying for and how many units are there. So 25% of that unit, and there will be a priority in the waiting list. So like if there are 50 in total like people in the waiting list, and let's say I'm on the 15th number, so that means like there are 14 people ahead of me, and if there are like 15 cancellation, then only I will receive the, or then my waiting list will be cleared. And usually like if there are people in the waiting list, it gets cleared. Okay, so I have seen people who were in the waiting list initially, but like they got the confirmation that they have like got the unit. So if like somebody have received their name in the waiting list, I recommend that they should keep their money for at least like 4 to 5 months, so that once the waiting list clears, so they can see like okay, like if their name is there in the clear in the declaration. Okay, if not, then like you can apply for cancellation and you will get your money back. Now, the other thing we will talk about is how waiting list gets cleared, how like the cancellation comes. So there are so many reasons because which a unit can be cancelled for a person. So it can be because the documentation provided was not sufficient, or a person may applied like may got 2 3 like let's say I applied on behalf of my name, my wife name, my child name, so many like in my relations, right? So the affordable housing policy says a person can apply only one application, and his dependent should not own a property. So it's not only him, his dependent not like his dependent should also not own a property. For example, if I'm owning a property, so my wife cannot go ahead and apply for affordable housing. So they cannot, because I already own a affordable housing and my wife is applying for affordable housing. Like that's not what like policy says. Like only in my family, only one affordable housing can be there. So that's the very first rule. Okay, so some people do that, like they think like maybe like one of us will get it, so they apply multiple applications, and like if they get more than one unit, then they have to surrender it. So that's the like one reason of cancellation. So I'm just giving you an example. There can be n number of reasons. The biggest reason that I have seen or I have heard is the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, because people do not have understanding what Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana means, and they generally apply under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana category even if like they do not own a certificate. So as as you know, the priority is given to the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana first. So usually like they are assigned a unit, but when like it comes to the documentation, they do not have this certificate, and eventually their unit gets cancelled. And once the unit gets cancelled, it basically the people in the waiting list gets eligible for those units. Okay, so that's how the waiting list criteria work. And usually like people do ask like how much time it will take to waiting list to be cleared. So like I would recommend to hold that money or hold your position at least for 3 to 4 months, because it there are multiple departments involved, and it may take time, because like there is a initially like a time is given to the winners as well, so that they can submit their documentation in a time, and then there is a grace period as well. Once the document is submitted, then like it gets like verified, validated, and if there is any scrutiny, then like it goes back. So like there is obviously a little time that they will take, and post like everything is sorted in the first winners list, then like they will proceed with the waiting list. So I would recommend hold for 4 to 5 months, and if your waiting list does not get clear, you can like just email the CRM team of the project and for the cancellation, and they will refund your money. Now, the other topic we will talk about is the refund, like how much usually it takes, like how much time it will take to get the refund. Now, if you are applying it for the first time, and like and if your name does not come into the winner list for the very first time, in the very first, announcement. So that means, and you are not even in the waiting list. So that means your application got rejected or cancelled. So and like you are not winner, you lost it. That means like you have to get your refund back. Now the first thing is, this money is in the government account. It is not in the builder's account unless like you are in a winner list. Okay, so it remains into the government account. So that means like it's not builder that has to return the money, it's the government that has to return the money. And once the result is out, within 12 to 15 days, I have seen a refund coming back into the source account which you have provided in your application. So no matter from which account you have made the payment, the account which you have defined, or which you have the account number which you have written in your application, is the account in which the refund will come back. And usually it takes 12 to 15 days if your name is not in the winner or waiting list. Okay, if your name is in the waiting list, and let's say it's not cleared, and or maybe like you made a choice that you do not want to proceed, then what happens? Like, then how do we get our money back? So in that case, as I said before, you have to write an email to the builder CRM team, and then they will take your email into the consideration, saying like, okay, yes, like we respect your decision that you don't want to continue, and then they will forward that cancellation on your behalf to the DTCP, district country and planning, or district country town and planning office. Okay, then from there the refund will be processed. Usually it's take like 3 to 4 weeks. It's not like 15 days again, I'm saying, like, because like it's a different process. Then like first your like cancellation will go to the builder, then builder will send it to the district country town and planning office, and from there like the refund will be processed. So usually it takes 3 to 4 weeks, but it can be more than that as well. Okay, so I guess we covered like most of the crucial topics today, which usually people try to get answer to and do not get answer into most of the videos. So if you like my video, do subscribe my channel, and it will actually motivate us. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.